Have you been working long enough at a university or an institution and feel insecure about your next enrollment cohort? Or maybe you think it's about time to change the way you recruit students in a more empathic way, in a more human way, in a more connected way. I'm today here with Dan Tyre from HubSpot, one of the first to join the revolution of inbound, a more honest way, a more human way, a connected way to approach to people who want to get something from us or buy something from us. I'm very happy to be here with you, Dan. Boom! Thank you for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dan.
So super excited to be here. Thank you very much. My name is Dan Tyre. I'm a 5-time entrepreneur here in the United States. My first startup in 1982, before most of our listeners were born, went from $2 million to $1.4 billion US in the 1980s. My second startup, I was founder and CEO of an agency that scaled from zero revenue to $30 million, right? Highly successful around collaboration software, training, and software products. My third startup was a nationwide training company. And that's where I first got introduced to the university system. EDU was an important segment for us, and it was a highly successful company. My fourth startup got bought out by Microsoft, and my boss at Groove Networks was the founder of HubSpot, Brian Halligan. So when he started HubSpot, he called me. He said, "We're starting this new company called HubSpot. Would you like to join?" And I said, "Yes, I would." So I became the first salesperson for HubSpot, the first sales manager, the first sales director. I ran the international division before G2. And I've been at HubSpot for 16 and a half years. Travel all over the world talking about the inbound revolution, right? And super excited to bring it to Costa Rica at the end of September to help our university clients and prospects understand the new challenges of digital momentum and how to relate to people and prospects and university students, prospective students, and families in the 21st century.
Well, that's so great. So you're a veteran. It's 17 years in HubSpot.
Yes, lots of people who are here at the Inbound 23 program weren't even born when I started with HubSpot. So it's super fun and exciting because in the early days, we would talk about inbound and people would be like, "What's inbound?" Yeah. And you still see that in certain parts of the world, right? You talk with customers all the time, especially universities and colleges, and they're like, "Explain to me this inbound process." And inbound is relatively simple, right? But an incredible transformation about how we generate business. And it starts with being human. Mm-hmm. And people in Costa Rica and Central America, they know all about being human. It's just translating that into a business context is not always simple. So in 2023, it all starts with connection, right? That's why we're having the live program at the end of September where you can learn from other folks in the audience and myself and the other speakers, right? Being human is an important part of establishing business relationships. And you and I are here at Inbound with 10,000 of our closest friends learning about all the new HubSpot artificial intelligence and business transformation technology. The next thing about the inbound revolution is helping people. And Andres, I know you like helping people. Yeah. Why do you like helping people?
Well, I was going to say this era today is more about that, more about connecting and helping people. I like how their mentioned going back a year ago.
Yes.
How their message said, like, I like to connect the dots.
Yes.
And so when you have someone that understands how to connect the dots, technology has been there and it's in a constant evolution. Today we're here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing here today at Inbound. But today we are talking about creating those connections, being people of change, and we cannot do this alone. We need to do it together. We need to understand. So whoever is out there that understand how to connect this dot with another dot with another dot, they're all welcome in this revolution because it's part of the Gemini. This event said it's all about change. It's not just about artificial intelligence. Everyone is talking about AI. Everyone's talking about artificial intelligence, but it is more about the change.
It's so true. You've been part of our ecosystem for almost a decade, right? You and I met in Costa Rica 5 years ago. And you flew halfway around the world, right, so that you could bring this message back to Central America. And it's super timely. The inbound revolution starts about being human. Then the second part is helping before you sell, before you do business, right? And you've always had that big orange heart. That's what we call it, right? The inbound revolution is helping first. The third part is focusing on a target market. And university market is so important in Costa Rica. Why is it the expertise that you've chosen, and why are your programs oriented towards universities?
Well, I worked for more than 9 years directly in admissions at a university. So I understood firsthand like how difficult it was to start recruiting students and trying to understand technology out there. Like one of my first experiences was coming to the United States to recruit students. And I remember how difficult it was because I have a beautiful table set up with those flyers, everything ready, business cards and all that. And then I put 2 pieces of paper so that anybody who was interested can write up their name.
Sure.
And so as soon as I got back to the hotel room, it was a nightmare. I said, like, what should I do now? Like, right. should I go and have a nice bistec? I like meat, or should I stay here to kind of transcript those? And I couldn't read the letter, their handwriting.
Right.
And so it was painful.
Right.
It really was painful. It was 1 a.m. in the morning. I wasn't even going to a third of all of those pages. Flew the next day, and I was still typing on the airport. Sure. Got to the office the following day in the morning.
Yeah.
Trying to continue. So it was a nightmare. And so I said to myself, that cannot be this way always. And there has to be technology out there. So I started with CRM, and I have to be honest, I did not start with HubSpot. I started with some other CRMs, which I respect too much, but some of those other CRMs are very techie, hard technology to understand. Yeah. And years later, when I met you, I was at another university. Times passed, and I was at another university in Costa Rica. I already had some international experience myself before this, but I met HubSpot, and I said to myself, wow, this is user-friendly, so simple for the users, simple for us to program. So when you say connection and why I love this and I want to, it's because people out there need to understand how easy it is today with HubSpot. And more importantly, what we heard today. So let's talk about what we heard in this event. Like, what are we doing here?
So first of all, we're in Boston, Massachusetts in the United States, right? We're with 11,000 of our closest friends. We're in the big Boston Convention and Exhibition Center, right? It takes a half an hour to walk from one end of the building to the next, right? And it's an amazing program with world-class speakers. And HubSpot's been holding this event for 12 years. I remember the first year there were 300 people here. Now there's 300 people in front of you to get to the food trucks. And it's amazing because the announcements are both connection as well as technical announcements, right? So for many universities, they still do it the way you just talked about. There are still people who get on planes and fly all over the world and sit with the piece of paper in front of them. But it doesn't work quite as well anymore, right? The way people pick university choices is online. And most people have taken baby steps to get towards the online digital landscape, right? But there are other things that they can do to automate workflows, follow up, so that they can be more effective in managing their student capacity for next year. And so the big announcements, first of all, was HubSpot Artificial Intelligence, right? And you talk about AI all the time. Why is the university market so interested in AI?
Well, number one, we understand that we have students in our hands. Like when you're in university settings, you're preparing the next generation of professionals.
Yes.
So they need to understand that the revolution is already here. Like it's a wave in the ocean that's already started.
Yes.
And so you're going to be there or not. You have to surf this new wave. And so first and foremost, like the universities that are going to taught this in the near future.
Yes.
Right, the professionals like you or me or whoever is out there that we're connecting the dots to find those champions. we gotta explain it well.
Yes.
But also the universities can't live in that blackness, like out of, they cannot recruit students in the old traditional way and trying to teach them to do it in a better way. It's not congruent. And so one of the things I found out throughout those years working at the university in admissions is that the software you enroll the students into the programs,
Yes.
courses,
Yes.
or a bachelor's or master's degree, they don't have the CRM.
Yeah.
They don't have the capacity to follow up.
Yes.
They don't assign tasks for you in admissions to, hey, this student coming from a high school far away from here asked this question, so I'm going to follow up with that person. So because of those softwares are so limited,
Yes.
I had to start looking for softwares that can help me and the team, like
Yes.
the whole admissions team and the marketing team and academics.
Yes.
When you add the academics to the equation, when you add the professors, the deans, the directors, when you add the students that are in that career already,
Yes.
boy, you make the whole process of recruiting so much easier, so much connected, so much honest.
Yes.
Because it's not your, buy from me message.
Yes.
Like, are you going to enroll? Are you going to enroll? And I hate that. Any company that do that to you is just...
You'll never go there. You'll never enroll in their program, and you'll talk poorly about them because it's not a great experience. I think that's one of the great takeaways that I've learned in working in the university market is it starts with engage, right? You have to connect and you have to connect the appropriate way. So you have to connect to the right person at the right time with the right technology. What you were talking about is that in many times in educational institutions and universities, they lag just a little bit, right? They're not leading embracers of technology, but that goes away, right? In the artificial intelligence age, and what we're going to talk about in the live program is that we're going to show you how you could accelerate your programs using artificial intelligence, like for the next cohort of 2024, students,
Yeah.
right? And it's a mindset. It's an understanding. It starts with smart CRM, which is one of the announcements that we've had today, and one of the things that we're gonna talk about at the end of September. It's how we use technology at every step of the process, from connect to engage to delight to understanding the full experience for both the students as well as their families, as well as the folks who may be paying for the program.
One of the things that makes me or motivates me more to bring all of this information to Latin America is that we always have seen how universities in the U.S. do this in a way, correct or in a better way than we do it. Because you have, for example, those alumni programs, right? That you create promoters.
Yes.
You create promoters. Those alumni programs like reach out to you and bring you back to the campus and continue the enlightenment of the university. We don't do that job correctly because we don't have CRMs or well-connected CRMs to the whole academic process. And so it's so disconnected that's why I want to bring this to them so that they can continue the journey and connect those dots.
Amazing, because lots of people like to leverage multi-generational attendance for students who go to the same school for multiple generations, right?
Exactly.
But if you're not reminding them, if you're not engaging your alumni, if you're not personalizing and customizing that outreach, right, it's almost impossible. And unless you have one code base, and unless it's easy to use for both admissions as well as alumni as well as academic, and we're going to talk about all the programs that HubSpot and your agency brings to universities in Costa Rica and Central America so that they can maximize the opportunities that they have so that they can grow better. That's the whole foundation of the inbound revolution, right? Number one, everybody is starting at the same place, right? It used to be the United States was way ahead, not so much anymore. Right? Students all over the world look to Costa Rican universities as a cost-effective way that they can take the next step, where they can learn essential parts of the curriculum that they need to start a career, right? And we need to make sure our universities are prepared. And as you said multiple times here today, the code base is very important.
You're so right. All of those years I've been working in international missions in those universities. The biggest university is in Costa Rica, and that's exactly the message. Like people are selecting universities, in our countries, and I'm talking about because I am from Costa Rica, but other countries as well.
Yes.
Because of the quality of education.
Yes.
Right? The quality of education in Mexico, in Guatemala, in Honduras, in Costa Rica, in Panama is extraordinary.
Yes.
So I want to, and even in South America.
Yes.
We have people, we're going to talk about what's coming up in September, but we have people coming up from Argentina, from Chile. We have people from Mexico that's going to come. We're going to talk about what's going to happen at the end of September. But lastly, that human connection, that is really what drives me. And what I like more about what we're gonna give out to them in September is that the first part of the process starts by understanding better who the persona is, who those kids are. Those first time students or that they're gonna come as a freshman to the university. Because they've changed.
Amazing.
We talk about digital natives and all that stuff, and I have my daughter is 15 years old, and she's about to enroll to a university. She doesn't have Facebook. She has other platforms where she socializes. So us, that we're kind of the old generation.
Right?
If we're running a university or any business in the old way, and disconnected, can't see the journey of the student, can't follow up with them, even in this semester. I was talking here at the conference with Pedro from a Brazil university, and Pedro was telling me, right, we need to connect monthly because if they stop paying, they can't continue in the university. So
amazing.
All of that stuff. So we're running out of time here, but what's going to happen at the end of September?
So I'm going to fly to Costa Rica on September 29th and 30th. We're running a program for universities, right? And super excited to share all of this knowledge and wisdom to engage with folks who are ready to take the next step, right? And if you're anywhere in the journey, right? If you're just thinking about this and need more education about what's possible, if you've started the journey and need a little bit more help, if you have an individual problem, right? We want you to attend this program because we think that it will be impactful for you to learn from other folks. You'll recognize that you're not the only person that has this issue. You'll recognize some of the solutions. We'll offer some of the things that HubSpot offers all universities across the United States. We'll dig down into some of the deepest challenges that you and I have talked about. September 29th and 30th, and where's it going to be?
It's going to be in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It's one of the most beautiful places in Costa Rica because we're talking about the beach, but also we call it the Golden Coast. The sunsets are always on the west, and so we're always having a great time in being there. So it's called Santa Arena. The hotel is Santa Arena Hotel at Las Catalinas. It's a town in the Golden Coast in Costa Rica. So you can check here in this link that we're going to put how to get there, how to enroll into the summit. We're going to have Dan Tyre, of course, talking about this revolution and how the universities, how is the modern process for modern universities being done today. We're going to have Lorena Jordan from Mexico. We're going to have Sofia Sestari from Argentina. And we're going to have Colin Sharp from the United States. We're all going to share what we've learned of AI. Very important topic, not only in this conference, but for anyone in the industry. They all want to know how we can leverage with AI.
Sure.
It's not that AI is going to take our jobs. It's making our jobs so much better, faster. I was in a session yesterday, Dan, that the speaker was saying, like, because of the resources, and how quickly it goes, and it's called regenerative artificial intelligence, which is, times two. Like it's the second level of AI, because we've lived with AI with Google and all that stuff. But this new era of generative or regenerative artificial intelligence, he was saying he hopes that it not only makes the same job faster or in less time, that we spend the same amount of time but doing it better. Because that's what AI brings. Like, you are going to do it better. And what we're going to show is a method. It's a formula. So that's why the summit's called the Formula of CRM for institutions and in universities. It's not only universities, any kind of institution can follow the formula. So we're going to share the formula that goes from the initial contact, right? How to engage them, because if you don't talk to them, you can bring them into your world, but if you don't engage with them, it's disconnection already. And help them with the objections they have, like with the problems they have to enroll, and helping them and even automate the welcome, the orientation, the welcome, all of that process. So it's beautiful. It's all set up with helpful tips and prompts from AI. So you're gonna see, you want to see that, how are you using AI. It's kind of a workshop, so you're going to be doing live, practicing creating prompts for your universities or institutions. And then we're going to close in how to manage objections and how to see reporting, how to create those reports automatically, and how to have a better life in the academic setting.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I've been to Costa Rica multiple times on behalf of HubSpot. HubSpot appreciates all of the customers that we have. We appreciate your agency working with universities from all over Latin America and Central America. And it's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a great time. It's a great time to be in Costa Rica as well. The weather is amazing, okay. 72 degrees.
All right.
And it's all green. It's beautiful. But most importantly, we want to welcome all of those institutions that want to do better, that want to be more human, more connected, that want to have the technology that is right now here, right, to do it well.
All right, and we'll spend as much time as we need to so that they embrace it, they understand it, they are able to make decisions, they can start using it. And I look forward to that program September 29th. And just get the link that's in the live stream, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have.
Yep. Thank you all, and we'll see you there. The link will be here. Let's do it. Let's change the world. Let's help our institutions to change the way we're recruiting students in a more human way, in a more connected way.
Boom!